Hey guys, Two-Time Marine here with another story time video. Kind of embarrassing, but you know, I don't care. So, as you guys probably know, if you follow my channel for any amount of time, I used to wrestle in high school. I wrestled generally 152 was my weight class, but it would vary, kind of depending on what the team needed, but generally 152. And so I was still on JV at this point. I don't remember what year in high school I was. Probably my sophomore year, maybe early junior, because I switched to varsity like in my junior year, like halfway through the season. I don't know. Either way, I was at a JV tournament, and like an hour and a half north of here where I live, and for my first match of the day. I had been super nervous, and what you do if you don't wrestle, and I had to cut weight, like to make this weight, and maybe I was wrestling 145, because I remember having to cut an okay amount of weight to make the weigh in. I don't know, but either way, what happens is you go cut your weight, do whatever you got to do to get to your weight, and then once you weigh in for that tournament, you fucking eat like an asshole. And so I did. I drank a shit ton of Gatorade, and then it was still like another 2 hours before the tournament actually started. So I weighed in, ate and drank all my stuff, and then I went to sleep. And I woke up kind of when they were kicking off, and I don't know if this varies. Oh God, stretching. I don't know if this varies like in other parts of the country, but the way they do it for our tournaments is that it starts at the lowest weight class. So the 103 guys, they go first, and then up to the 112s, and so on and so forth. And so I was like halfway through in terms of the overall matches. And so right before my match, I had like the weight class before was getting called up. So I'm like, well, I'm gonna go pee. Like I woke up just having to pee really bad, and so I go to the bathroom, as you do when you need to pee, and went to the urinal, and instead of like pulling the shoulder straps from my singlet down over, and like pulling the singlet halfway off my body, I decided just to pull it up because they're really not too long down your legs. It goes like halfway up your thigh, and so I kind of pulled that up and around my junk, and I started peeing, and I kind of noticed, but it didn't register at the time, that I really wasn't peeing that much compared to how badly like it felt I had to pee, if that makes sense. And so I'm like, I stopped peeing, so I was like, oh, all right. so then I take the singlet and I move it back over my junk, and all of a sudden I just feel wet warmness down around my happy parts, and I'm like, what's happening? And what I didn't realize is that when I pulled the singlet off to the side, that it actually pinched off the vast majority of my ability to pee. And so like less than half of the pee that I had didn't get out. And so the second that I released that by putting the singlet back where it's supposed to go, all that pee just came out. So essentially, that's a long way of saying that I fucking pissed my singlet. And I'm standing there like, what the fuck? And I heard my name get called to go up to the mat to warm up, because to check in at the table, because I'm about to go and wrestle. And so I'm like, mother of God. And I never brought a second singlet. Nobody ever did. You had your singlet and you wore it, and that was all there was to it. So I'm like, what the fuck am I going to do? And people are coming in and out of the bathroom, and I'm just standing there like an asshole, and I'm like, fuck, just covered in pee. I'm just like, fuck. And so and I'm like, 15, 16 years old, freaking out. And so I go to the sink, and I grab paper towels, and I start trying to like wet it down and like soak up the pee, and it's not working. It's making things worse. And then I heard a last call for my name, so I'm like, fuck, I got to go. So I went out, and I warmed up, checked in the table, and then I warmed up, and I pretty much got on the mat right away. And, oh, God. And so I get up on the mat, because it's my turn. I shake the kid's hand. The ref, explains the rules, blah, blah, blah. Don't be assholes. And told us to go. And we start wrestling. And I got a double leg in on him, which was like my signature move. And I picked him up, and I brought him down. And And then we started wrestling from the ground. And this kid was all squirrely and shit. And he somehow, during the events of us on the of us, wrestling from the ground, we somehow spun around, because when I first brought him down, I was on top of him, like face to face, head to head, and somehow he spun around to where it was like the opposite, so your heads down near each other's crotches, and I flipped him over, because he had flipped me over to my back at one point doing this, and then I flipped him back over, so all my weight's on him, and all I remember is him, because my crotch was in his face, and so I guarantee if he's breathing, which he, I'm pretty sure he was, he is just smelling this fucking pee. He's fucking smelling so much pee, and I felt so bad, but at the same time I didn't, because fuck that kid. And I'm just thinking to myself, oh god, this has to be horrible for him. And he was squirming so bad, like he fucking obviously didn't want to be in that position. And I generally am pretty strong for my size, and so he wasn't moving. He couldn't get out from under it, and so he ended up fucking giving up, and he got pinned. He gave up, and the ref called the pin, and in the first round, and and so I jump up, and I'm fucking all red. I'm super embarrassed, and the kid's just looking at me like, what the fuck? He was so confused, and I'm just picturing the look on his face. It was so good, and he starts trying to tell the ref, but the ref didn't care. He was busy with he had another match coming up, and so he comes up, raises my hand. I won by pin, and then I immediately fucking walk off, and I go over to my coach, and he's like, "What the fuck was that?" He's like, "You were holding him down, but he just like gave up. Like, did he gas?" I was like, "No." And gas means, like, did he gas out? Did he just get super tired and give up? And I'm like, no. I was like, I peed myself a little bit, and it was all in his face. And the coach was like, what? And so then that was kind of the running joke for a while, because I told everyone else, and like, fuck, don't go against Michael. Don't wrestle him. He'll pee on himself so you give up and lose. Oh, God. Oh, God. I just remembered that randomly the other day, too. That was fucking hilarious. And I saw that kid actually at like another tournament a few months later, or about a month later, and he just fucking looked at me with disdain. He didn't want to talk. He just he looked at me like, fuck you. Oh, funny times. Oh, Jesus. That poor bastard. That had to have sucked. I felt bad after, because I'm like, no one should be exposed to another dude's fucking pee all over his singlet. Oh, well. At least now it's a cool story. And at least I wasn't on the receiving end, because that'd be terrible. But, yeah. All right, guys. If you have any questions or comments or any funny wrestling stories, let me know. And I'll see you in the next one. Semper Fi. Hey, guys. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. All the links that you need to get in contact with me are down below. Facebook being the best one to contact me. I'm on my phone all the time, so it's just easiest for me to be able to get back to you with your variety of questions that you guys have. And yeah, if you need anything, by all means, hit me up. So please hit that subscribe button so you can keep in tune with future videos. And I'll see you later. Peace.